Thank you for your testimony, Alexander. You know, you've been coming here for a while, and we haven't heard your story yet. And I know how hard it is right now, but man, it's encouraging for us to hear. Right, guys? Oh, hi. Come on in. No, don't worry about being late. In fact, you could sit in my seat. I'll take this chair here. Well, I can't really place where you're from. It doesn't matter. There's all sorts of us here. In fact, I'm a Samaritan myself, and if you remember, in the outside world, man, we didn't really get along with Jews or Judeans, and then there were the Romans. But in here, we're all fine. We're all here together. In fact, Mary's a Samaritan just like me. And Saul, well, he's a Cretan. And we have a few defected Romans here as well. I mean, when you're a leper, you just kind of need to join together. It's a shame that's what brought us together. But welcome, anyway, to Lepers Anonymous. I think we only have time for one more, and I'd really like to share my story tonight. So, hi, my name is Phineas, and I've been a leper for 12 years. And at first, just like a lot of you, I tried to hide the spots, but it only lasts so long. Once word starts getting out that you're a leper, and then it gets to the priest, and you guys all remember how they treated me, and how they treated you. They march you out of the street with that drum banging, warning people to stay away from you. I had a wife. I had a 3-year-old. My wife was pregnant. I couldn't touch them. Couldn't even say goodbye. At first when I came down here, I had hope. Hope that things would change. Hope that there would be like a cure or just something. Or hope that God would change his mind about this rule that puts us out here. But after time, that hope just started turning to hate. I felt that this disease wasn't just on my skin, but it was in my heart as well. And my heart was so hard towards people, everyone. My family never came to visit me. I started to feel like the prophet Isaiah would say, God, why have you forsaken me? Why have you forgotten me? And man, did I dwell on that scripture. Has anybody ever gotten out of here? Well, actually, about 2 years ago, there was this guy named Simon. And Simon would come in here all the time, like just ranting crazily about this man from Galilee, this healer. And he would be talking our ears off about it. I mean, no, not literally, just figuratively. Well, except for Marcus, his ear's over there somewhere, but we haven't been able to find it. But anyway, he would just keep talking our ears off about it, and then one day he disappears. And, a lot of people were starting to say things like, oh, I think he died, and, other people would say he must have killed himself, couldn't take the misery any longer. But there's a part of me that really believed that he went to find this man Jesus that he was talking about. So one day there was this rumor that Jesus was going to be coming by the village, right by us. And he was going to be walking up the road right outside our colony. So me and 9 of my friends, we decided we're going to get up and we're going to go and see if we can find this man, Jesus. I mean, what else did we have to lose at that point? But yeah, I know what the rules are. The rules are we're supposed to stay here. We can't go out. And we knew the risks of infecting somebody. I mean, can you imagine? People have been stoned for less than that. But at this point, we were willing to take that risk. So we got out, and we went out to the road. It's horrible. I mean, people were just avoiding us. People were yelling at us. throwing things at us. You saw mothers, they were just holding their children close and walking on the other side of the road. So humiliating. We were going to turn around and go back where we knew it was safe, but then we saw him coming up the road and a crowd with him. At first we were scared, like, oh, he's just going to treat us like everybody else, but I didn't know what else to do. I just yelled out, I said, Jesus, have mercy on us. And my friends, they joined in, saying the same thing. And you know what? He didn't ignore us. He walked right up to us and treated us like humans. And then he said something that just totally baffled us. He looked at us in the eyes and he said, go show yourselves to the priest. The priest? I know, right? Like, they're the ones who put us here in the first place. They're the ones who humiliated us. Like, why would we go see the priest? So at that point, we were like, sure, fine, thanks. And most of us were talking about, let's just go back home, guys. But there's this one guy, Elijah, who was with us, and he says, you know, what else do we have to lose at this point? We've come this far. Why don't we go see the priest? At this point, we agreed with him. You know what? Maybe he is the miracle worker that Simon had been talking about. Let's just go. And as soon as we made that decision, we were walking up the road to the town. And I looked at my friend Marcus, and I'm like, Marcus, your ear is back. Like, what? And he's like feeling his ear. He's like, oh, whoa. And then we all just started looking at our arms. And can I tell you, we were cleansed. There were no scars. There was no sign of anything. And not only that, but my heart felt a change. You know, I realized, like, God doesn't hate me. And even though everyone else abandoned me, God would never leave me alone. When your fear comes marching like an army, when you hear the pounding of the drums, when you hear cries for mercy, come up empty and weakness, yes, Lord, how long? And they sing with their creeds, and they force your confession with blinded eyes and heart of stone. But they pay no heed to your oppression. I will never leave you alone, 'cause I will never leave you alone. No, I will never leave you alone. As they hide behind morals of their choosing and drown out your pain with their pious gains, when they view all your troubles like a nuisance, blind to your suffering, but I will never leave you alone. No, I will never leave you alone. I will never leave you alone. No, I will never leave you alone. And you know, he didn't. He didn't. At this point, I said to my friends, I'm going to go back and thank him, guys. But I don't know what was going on with them, if they were just so happy that they were healed. But I turned around, because it was the only thing I could do. I turned around and I ran to Jesus. And I laid down at his feet. And I said, Lord, thank you so much for what you've done for me. And you know, he looked at me and he said, are you the only one who's come back to thank me? The foreigner? He called me a foreigner, but you know, I know what he meant. Because for the first time, I really felt like part of a family. And you know, at that point, it was easy for me to go to the priest and go before him, because this is what I felt. You know, Simon, the guy that I had told you about, he actually did find Jesus, and he got healed. And he's living in Bethany right now, but he told me about this party that they were throwing for Jesus, for a whole bunch of people who wanted to thank him. And there was this woman there who was just so thankful, and she just fell down at his feet, and she poured perfume all over his feet, and she washed his feet with her own hair. And people looked at her funny, didn't know why she was doing that, but man, I know why. Because when you are cleansed in your heart, and not just your body, but when you feel that hate that you've had before being stripped away, trust me, guys, that's where you want to be. It's risky. It's really risky to find forgiveness for the people that you know abandoned you. And it's risky for me to come down here and be with you guys, but I do this because I want to spread that hope. And I want you to know that there is hope. And that hope starts on the inside. Again, if you missed it, my name is Phineas. I've been a leper for 12 years. I've been clean for 480 days.